A very warm welcome to the capital city of Lower Austria. It's St. Pölten, directly in the heart of Lower Austria, and this is the Spartan Race 2025. And to get into the mood, let's take a quick look at some of the many challenges that awaits the Spartans today. For example, moving these 45 kilogram stones. Or crawling on the barbed wire like here is just as much part as the battle with the rope. The heavy iron chains are always a challenge in themselves, and if an obstacle isn't completed, you have to carry them again on a penalty lap. There is even a slack line. Anyone who loses the balance here also loses time. And particularly tough the slip wall, where you have to overcome a slippery slope with the help of a rope that is slippery by itself. And cooling off awaits in the mud pit or also at the dunk wall. And this challenge here, the laser pistol, inspired by the modern pentathlon, is new. It requires precision even with a racing hard pace. And before the race ends, there is the signature fire jump final. We move from the event grounds at the former military training area in Pölten into the city center of St. Pölten for the start of the premier event. That is the Beast Race, featuring over 21 kilometers of running and 30 obstacles. It kicks off right in the town hall square on asphalt, something unique in the Spartan race calendar and found only in St. Pölten. From here the course leads towards the city forest and the outskirts of St. Pölten. Spartan is a way of life. The atmosphere here is electric this Saturday morning with participants from 34 nations. Alongside events with the Wachau Marathon, the Spartan Race is one of the biggest sporting events in Lower Austria.
Wir sind natürlich sehr glücklich, dass wir hier in St. Pölten.
Of course, we're very happy that we Spartans found here a home in St. Pölten, and this city really offers everything we Spartans need. We have ideal conditions at the former military training area in Pöltendorf with forests and meadows, but we are also allowed to start in the city and run from there across the fields through the meadows.
Und dann da raus laufen über Felder, über Wiesen, und das macht diesen Reiz aus.
What does it take, in your opinion, to become a true Spartan? To have fun in the beginning? How does it work? Well, first you have to say, I want this. I want to become a Spartan. And now I'm getting off my couch and I'm doing this as a sport. So far, maybe I've done endurance sport, a bit of strength training, maybe at the gym, but our target group is not just a gym athlete. It's also for someone who says, this weekend I want to have an experience out in nature, go over obstacles, some balance and so on. We also do have the memory board where we need to think and memorize number codes. So it's a mixture of fitness, endurance, strength, agility and mental challenge as well.
Geschicklichkeit und auch Denksport dabei.
Helge Lorenz has once again invited the best of the best to compete at the elite race, and aiming for the home win in Austria is the Upper Austrian Marco Hofstetter, who's using St. Pölten as the final tune-up for the upcoming Ultra World Championship in France, as he preps for the hot summer races.
Es war dieses Jahr noch nicht recht war's.
This will be the first race in warm weather. You really need to be careful and stay in touch with your body. If you run too long, a lot can happen.
Und ja, es ist auch ein langes Rennen, kann viel passieren.
Was haben Sie sich
goal
denn
for
für
today?
heute vorgenommen? Was ist das Ziel heute?
Well, a smart race. Don't think that the person who starts in front will win. Let's see if I can hold back a little and push tactically at the end.
Mal schauen, ob ich mich ein bisschen zurückhalten kann und taktisch zum Schluss Gas geben kann.
In the elite women's field, local favorites are absent. The top favorite is Manuela Hill from Germany, competing for the first time in Lower Austria in the Beast Race. I'm prepared for the start with a lot of asphalt, which then turns into the forest and the military terrain, so I expect a colorful mix. What's your goal for today? Well, I definitely plan to have a lot of fun and see what's in the race. That's also the main draw for many others. In addition to the Beast, there are 5K and 10K races, and those aiming for the Trifecta, competing all three, find St. Pölten to be the perfect opportunity.
Es wird der Trifecta.
Was ist denn das
What's
Besondere
special
an diesem
about this?
Trifecta-Bewerb?
Naja, 3 Rennen auf 2 Tage.
Well, 3
aufteilt.
races spread over 2 days. You
ja,
rack up
da
quite a
kommt
few
auf einige
kilometers and
Kilometer
obstacles,
und Hindernisse.
but it's all preparation
Aber
for the
alles ist
Ultra
Vorbereitung für den
Beast.
Ultra in Kaprun.
St. Pölten is quite pleasant already because the elevation gain isn't as brutal as places like Zell am See, and of course it's a great starting point. The area around the start line is also really
Die
nice.
schwierigsten Hindernisse aus Ihrer Sicht und
And what's the
welche
most
Hindernisse,
difficult obstacle in
nehmen
your
Sie quasi
opinion?
vorbei?
Which one is easy? The obstacles today will probably be a really challenge. It will be tough, especially with the mud, and once you are wet and covered with sludge, the rest of the obstacles will even be harder.
Ist auch eine Challenge.
He's really Mr. Trifecta. Konstantin Schüler is competing in his 128th Spartan Weekend in St. Pölten, and this is a world record.
St. Pölten,
Is St. Pölten a
besonderes
special
Rennen
race for
für Sie
you
als
as a local
Niederösterreicher?
Austria? Yes, absolutely. It's my home race and I'm practically at home here. I've spent the last 17 weekends traveling somewhere around the world and it's nice to be back home. Very special.
Sehr speziell, ja.
Impressive numbers and we already gratulate him before the race. Now it's slowly time to head to the start. A group ritual to pump up for the challenges. Of course, the part in the beginning, it's traditional. Focused faces and then it begins. As mentioned, 21 kilometers and 30 obstacles awaiting the field. The course first leads out of the town across the town hall square. And soon it comes to the woods where the first obstacles await. Leading the way up to the Fleder house near the forest edge is Marco Hofstetter, who managed to pull ahead early. In the background there's the Czech runner Filip Sucek. First obstacle seems harmless, the balance walk. Hofstetter takes it without any hesitation and doesn't wobble at all. Unlike Sucek, who stumbles early and earns a penalty lap. For the others, it's straight into the forest. Spartans are released in waves, their lead starts first.
Okay, penalty.
They are the most experienced athletes, often competing at world champions level and top podium competitors. And then the age groups organized by age, the intermediate Spartan experienced, so we speak. And finally the open class for everyone. You can run at your own pace without any pressure or fear of penalty laps. Back to the front, Marco Hofstetter is the first to leave the city and tackles the sledge pull. The sledge is pulled in with a rope and it's about strength, it's also technique. Hofstetter has a brief struggle but ultimately loses little time here. How are the elite women doing? Manuela Hill lifts up the top billing for the start. She pulls away early from the competitors. She also clears the Tyrolean Traverse with ease, which requires both grip strength and coordinated movement. Proper condition of the arm and legs are key here. Meanwhile, Hofstetter reaches the ape hanger, and here it becomes clear how tough the beast really is. It looks effortless for the Upper Austrian, but for beginners just hanging on the rucks with their own body weight is really difficult. The pros blast through here. The longer you hang, the more strength you lose. Jason Philipp Sucek is falling further behind. They are now separated by several minutes. The Czech has other concerns. He needs to refuel at the hydration station. Next comes the Olympus, a 6-meter long wall to climb using only grips and chains. Again, a big test for the fingers. Sucek make it through clearly without any penalties. But it's not enough to catch up here. Marco Hofstetter maintains his fast pace and still looks strong, especially at the beater with rotating bars that add difficulty. Back down the course, more runners are now leaving the city. Some amateurs athletes show among the strength and endurance. Technique plays the crucial role, and to improve it, some have their own special methods.
Wie bereitet man sich auf solche
How do you prepare for this kind of obstacles? Do you have something like this in your garden?
Ist ja wohl schwer möglich.
Well, Yulova actually have gallows, like a structure built at home to train for the rope climb. I also have a lot of concrete stones, mainly tailored to my age group, more rookie training. But even for Spartans without any backyard, there's help, for example, from Alexander Frantes. He's also running the beast, but he is like a brand ambassador, supporting newcomers with tips and guidance. He joins the Spartan communities 2 years ago as part of a personal transformation. I started this journey with about 30 kilos more than I have today, and I thought I need a challenge, so I looked for a different kind of sport, something fun, something challenging, something more just running. That's how I stumbled upon Spartan racing through the training group. In 2023 I did the first race here in St. Pölten.
Zum Spartan Race kommen, 2023 das erste Mal hier in St. Pölten.
Now he helps beginners, and that's also what Spartan is about. At the entry level, it's about experience, the adventure together, and not who is the fastest. Back at the elite front, where every second counts, and the finish line gets closer, even Marco Hofstetter is starting to feel a little bit tired. The lap into the water trench is a welcome cool down, but then comes the slip wall. Concentration, slip at the beginning, it takes him 2 tries, but he makes it. Philipp Sucek senses a chance and makes a final push out of the trench quickly. But then the deciding moment. The Czech misses the spear throw and has to do burpees at the penalty. And with that, the way is clear for Marco Hofstetter. Off the obstacle, eyes closed, and through the fire, the finish line is just beyond. The Upper Austrian wins comfortably, his time 1 hour 47 minutes, winning by 4.5 minutes, is also his first elite victory.
Am Anfang hat es mich gewundert, dass keiner
In the beginning, I
mitgeht.
was surprised that no one kept up, but after
bis
15k, I saw a
Kilometer
guy
15 circa
behind
habe
me,
ich
so
immer
I
einen
eased
hinter mir
off a
gesehen.
little bit.
Aber beim Schwerwurf hat es sich dann entschieden, der mich getroffen hat und er nicht. Und dann habe ich ein bisschen runtergehen können vom Gas.
Welchen Stellenwert
What does a
hat denn ein
home
Heimsieg
victory
für einen
mean to an
österreichischen
Austrian
Spartaner?
Spartan? Well, it's
Ja,
huge.
riesengroß, also
There's nothing
gibt nichts
better.
Besseres
We
wie daheim
won,
gewinnen.
and in 2 weeks it's off to the
Und
World
jetzt
Championship.
in 2 Wochen
Let's
geht's
see if
zur
I
WM.
can perform
Mal
there
schauen,
too.
ob ich da auch abliefern kann.
Philipp Sucek holds on to second place and right in the elite mix age group. Andreas Stöffler from Tyrol competing in the 44 and under age group. He finishes with the 3rd fastest time overall, just ahead of René Bindermann from Lower Austria, also in the same age group.
Ich bin total sprachlos. Und,
I'm totally speechless. A podium finish in the elite category. I didn't expect that at all. I'm so happy.
Da fehlen mir eigentlich die Höhenmeter, ist nicht mein Untergrund. Also bin total happy.
Let's check with the women's decision, which as mentioned was clearly on Manuela Hill. She runs a solo race and will win in St. Pölten. She's visibly tired too. The bucket carry is one of the final challenges, followed by the barbed wire crawl. Just don't get stuck, it's too close to the finish. And then she comes, the final wall, the fire jump, and she can celebrate her victory. Manuela Hill competes the 21 kilometers and 30 obstacles in 2 hours and 22 minutes, over 10 minutes ahead of the competition. And that at her first race in St. Pölten. It was quite tough at times without knowing the course. I was in the woods and there was no one else around me. I had to figure out, am I still on the right path? And to be honest, no one wants to collect extra kilometers unnecessarily. I saw the competition, for example, there was a chain carry and the twister, definitely a challenging obstacle. You had to carry the chain back. I was coming out just as the other woman was going in, so I knew I had a solid lead. No Austrian women are in the elite field. 2nd and 3rd place goes to Hungary and Switzerland. There was the elite. Now we're looking back to the Spartan Kids, who play a huge role in the world. With 1,000 children participating, this was the largest kids race in Europe so far this year. The youngest starts at the age of 4, around 14, with the age-appropriate obstacles and distances. This helps the next generation to get active and, in a playful way, share a little bit. Success builds up a self-confidence. Just like the adults, every kid who finished is a winner and they are all proud of their medals. Spartan Weekend wouldn't be completed without the shorter distances. We've got 5K and 10K, and they are collected to be the Trifecta Weekend for the whole fitness crowd. People who might not get active along are pulled in by the team spirit, experiencing nature with the friends or colleagues while pushing personal limits in a crowding trend. Regardless of your fitness level, movement can become an adventure. It's sensationally organized, great atmosphere here, pretty little town. We had a fantastic meal yesterday. The obstacles are awesome and the landscape is beautiful. Lots of forest and variety. Really super cool.
Wie hat's Ihnen gefallen?
We're a large club in Switzerland, very team-oriented in our qualification, and we travel all across Europe. We've never raced here before. We love it and it won't be the last time here.
Hat uns extrem gut gefallen, wir sind nicht das letzte Mal hier.
How did you do the obstacles?
Obstacles aus? Wie seid ihr durchgekommen?
Well, the non-climbing obstacles are fine, the climbing ones less so.
Hindernisse, die gut, die Kletterhindernisse weniger gut. Nur eine offene Hand ist rauskommen.
But you really have to enjoy the suffering a bit, I would say.
Wenn man sich gern quält und sowas macht, ja, dann hat man bei sowas schon Spaß.
Also mir macht es ausschließlich Spaß.
Well, for me it's pure fun, no suffering at all.
Ja.
So everyone has their own way to Spartan, and yes, there are Spartans who have already completed 50 Trifecta weekends and more.
Ich habe heute meine Lifetime X.
I'm at my limit, the last 2 kilometers, cramps in my tights and calves, but the motivation is still very much alive.
Die Motivation ist nach wie vor noch immer da, weil jetzt haben wir X50 erreicht und die nächsten sind X100. Ich habe für die X50 jetzt einmal 7 Jahre gebraucht. Schauen wir mal, wie lange wir für die X100 brauchen. Zeit ist noch genug.
Maybe next year in St. Pölten, from June 19 to 21st, 2026, the Spartans return to Lower Austria. This year, the next event in Austria is Zell am See Kaprun in September, and before that, the World Championship in France kicks off in early July, featuring St. Pölten's winner Marco Hofstetter. These are the highlights of the Spartan Race 2025. Thanks for watching and see you next time.